Two tired people.
I had five,
Not retired, tired.
5 hours sleep last night.
Oh my god. Well, that's my normal.
Really?
I think I only get about 5 hours of sleep and then I wake up because I can't sleep anymore.
Did I say I had? No, I said it wrong. I fell asleep at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh. That's
And I
different.
woke up at 7.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's only 2 hours.
I just took a little nap. That's why I'm so far behind.
Yeah.
Right now, I'll tell you my story. We went to the doctor to get sleeping pills for her. Of course, I don't know why we went to the doctor. She don't take them anyway. Ridiculous. I'm not taking you to the doctor no more. But that's it.
What
She don't follow them anyway. When they tell her she don't believe it. So I said, let me take a pill. I didn't take my normal prostate pill, which helped me pee.
Yeah.
I just took that pill. It made me sleepy. I got up like every hour for the first. I was up like.
Oh, because
10
you didn't
o'clock.
take the prostate pill.
Yeah,
You're up every half hour.
every half hour.
Oh my god.
Until to screw this shit. I went to bed about 9 something. By 12, I was up 3 or 4 times already.
Oh my god.
So then I took one of my pills, and from 12 o'clock on, you got a little better. It was every 3 hours. So we had a shitty night between the two.
Do you get frustrated and just stay up and not even bother trying to
No,
go back?
sleepy. I was sleepy.
Uh-uh.
I was sleepy, but every time you get that urge, you can't sleep.
Oh, I know.
Just can't sleep.
I know. I wake up too in the middle of the night, and not that bad, but it wakes me up every day.
Okay, talk to us now.
All right, so
Mm.
when were you guys born? Start from the beginning.
Grandma, go ahead.
New York City. In fact, I was born in the house that we lived in up until I got married.
Oh wow!
Travel.
I was born in the house.
In what year?
1928.
In what neighborhood?
East side.
The lower,
Oh, east side. East
Manhattan.
20.
like the Murray Hill area. That's what it was. Murray Hill.
29th
Do you
Street.
remember the address?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
What was it?
207 East
East 29th
29th
Street.
Street.
Is the building still there?
Yeah.
Did you go see it? Like in the
Uh,
past few years, or whatever?
Another girl that also lived next door to us. I just spoke to her the other
It was a
day.
5-story, 6-story.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
I spoke with her the other day, and yeah, she was there more recently than I've been there.
Oh yeah. Is it look? Does she say it looks the same or?
It still is hot. Well, they did a lot of renovating inside because, of course, they renovate and then they bring up the prices.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
How much your mother used to pay rent?
Yeah. $28.
A month? Wow.
28 a month.
And it was probably hard to
And
get.
that, sure, it was 3rd Avenue? What are you kidding? When my mother died, we didn't tell the guy, she was here. And then she went to the home, we kept the apartment, we were renting it.
Yeah.
We were renting it to
Wow.
somebody.
Oh wow.
And we used to get $40, $41 or something.
That's great.
No,
And so,
What did we get from him?
No,
More?
100.
Oh, $100?
so how did you end up getting rid of it?
Well, the guy kept calling us.
Well, we put my mother finally in the home, but I couldn't take care of her. I had her for 2 years.
Oh yeah, I remember. I actually remember that.
Yeah, and I couldn't.
And we couldn't hold on no more. We kept lying. Oh, she's coming back. Yeah, she's coming. Yeah,
Oh, that's how you kept the apartment.
And then
yeah,
finally
I see.
we had to.
Yeah, okay.
yeah. He was a schmuck too. He let us get away with it.
Yeah.
Mr. Marino.
Well, God, they lived there for the. Let me see. She was 20. She was around 22 or 3 when she got.
And she got that apartment?
When she
got married.
Right, my father brought her over from Europe, which was
Wow.
Greece,
Yeah.
and she had her children there, and she grew up.
Wait, she was
there.
from Greece?
Well, they were, the Turkey after the Armenians, so they scattered all over
They
Europe.
ran away.
So
like the
she
Jews.
found her in Greece.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then she had her children there. We all got married there, and
Did she speak Greek?
she knew a little bit, very little, because
Just from being there, probably.
yeah, but she got there when she was in her early. Oh no, maybe she was like 12, 12 or so, 12 years old or so. And she had to leave school and whatever.
Right.
And run to Greece.
That's crazy.
And in fact, the building that we lived in, the girl that I just spoke with to recently, her mother was neighbors to my mother in Greece.
Oh, get out of here.
Yep. She had to also.
That's crazy.
She lived too. She had a run too. So her family ran too, and they.
So did they come here together?
So they knew each other.
Yeah.
So when my father, I don't know how it was. I didn't ask him the whole particulars, but when my father thought, well, gee, he was like 32, figured I better get married. You know?
Yeah.
So he went back to Greece because he knew that all these certain people from a certain area were in this.
Okay, yeah.
So he went back there and he met my mother and married her and brought her here.
Yeah.
So when he brought her here, she was, of the other women, she was like pretty, a pretty woman, nice woman. Tall and slender and whatnot. And all the other bachelors figured, oh, they all went one by one.
Right.
So my father's neighbor, he said, do you know anybody there? So he said, yeah, my wife's girlfriend lives there also. So he went there and he got her and brought her back.
Oh, wow.
So we lived together all those years.
Wow.
For 20, what was it? I was there till I was 22. For 22 years.
It's crazy.
And they were there. I remember when our children were also, I don't remember that much, but we used to play with each other.
Yeah. What were your parents' names?
Well, I'll give you the Armenian name, Veronique.
Veronique?
Veronique, which in English would be Veronica.
Oh, wow.
And my father was Avedis.
Avedis. And what's the English translation for that? There's nothing, right? It's just Avedis. That's a cool name. I like that name.
In fact, when he used to work in the Masonic Temple.
It's like a nice little Columbus there.
Okay.
Or the Elks Club.
Right, it's
like
one
that.
of those, yeah.
But it was like an 8-story building.
Well, they had the Elks Club. They were popular, those clubs.
Right.
And they had a lot of Armenian refugees working there.
Really?
That's porters.
Right.
Yeah, and so my father's name was Asturian, and they didn't, so they used to call him Astor.
Because it was
Easier
more
to say Astor than Asturian.
Right, okay.
So he was known as Astor.
I never knew that, Andy. You never told me that.
Wait, what's Asturian?
That's her last name. That was her maiden name.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was her maiden name, Astoria. It's not a bad name.
So Astor, instead of... It was
Well,
just
let's
easier.
say if you're on the job or something, he says like Asturian.
Yeah.
Astor.
Yeah.
You know?
It's easier, yeah. Didn't you say you could see the Empire State Building being built?
Yes.
You look out the window?
I did. I remember I was very young because I had to get a certain way.
In a certain angle, yeah.
I was out looking out my kitchen window,
Yeah.
which I used to look out of, and in between the other buildings.
I can picture it.
Then you see it going up a little higher. But in the bedroom, if you look out the bedroom, you see the whole thing.
Wow, yeah.
My mother loved that building.
Yeah.
That was her building.
Yeah. Was it like a nice area where you could like go and things were convenient? Like,
34th Street?
Yeah. I don't know what it looks like now, but
When I was
it's
credible, it was a
yeah.
nice
Right,
area.
it was Fifth Avenue.
No, not 5th, it's 6th. Oh, the Broadway.
No.
What was it like when you walked out of your building? Like, what were the streets like?
Oh, tell her that. It was a Market Street.
Oh, we lived across the street from a market.
But
It was
also,
an Italian neighborhood. And the Italians who market here,
Yeah.
they sold fruits, vegetables, groceries.
Push carts on the street, you said push carts?
Push carts on the street.
If you see an old movie, show you the Lower East Side, you'll see it's
Two wheels and the handles,
that's it,
right?
baby. All the push carts down the street,
That's crazy.
the fire keeping warm.
And mostly horses and cars, no?
We had the horses and cars that would come down and pause if he had to go.
Yeah,
He had to go. They would,
Just putting crap on the street.
and if somebody was alerted, and they'd come with their pails and shovels and.
Oh, someone had the job of cleaning up all the horse shit? It was sanitation probably, right? Wow. And probably had a truck full of manure.
No, they used to have these little wagons with carts. Also on
No.
I don't say, we used to have wagon. Sanitation man used to go on the street. He had 2 wheels with a barrel in them.
Yeah, that was an everyday clean. That was every,
They just clean the
and
street.
clean the
That's
street.
every
Pick
day
things up.
clean.
So sweep and clean up.
Right.
Everyday
So
clean.
a push cart, he'd pull it there, actually pull it.
And like probably well dressed, right?
I don't remember. Just,
Maybe a
no,
uniform or
a
whatever.
uniform, I guess.
I guess they still have.
And he would have the little wagon push it.
That's cool.
Yeah. I don't know where he would empty it, but the
In
dirt.
the river.
No, there's not that much dirt around it. You didn't have paper napkins. You didn't have
Right.
paper towels.
But
You didn't have
there,
paper
there was
cups.
a lot of glass though. Wasn't there a lot of broken glass around?
We did have.
Yeah, when the hell did you buy a
We
bottle
did
of
have
soda? You bought the bottle back. A nickel was a nickel.
Oh, that's right.
Wait, we did have paper towels. The reason I remember
Well, she was
during
rich.
the Depression, not during the Depression, things were bad and people didn't have. So my mother would take the towel, she would tear it up. One was for my sister,
Right.
and one was for me. So we had half
Right.
the towel.
Mine were-
That's why I remember.
I don't know how
Yeah.
you did it. We never had paper napkins. We always had cloth napkins, and the worst part of
Well,
it, after we used them, my mother wouldn't wash it.
Oh,
Just take it, put it away, and put it in the drawer.
Use it again, yeah.
Use it
If
again.
it wasn't too dirty, yeah.
They'd use it again. I remember putting it into the napkin drawer. I
Yeah.
remember it well. She would never have paper napkins. So I got married. They got fancy.
Well, we lived in the city. He lived in Brooklyn.
Oh, so that was the difference?
Oh.
Oh, well, so your rent was cheaper then, no? Cheaper than 20?
Well, no, we lived. Well, I was born in the city too.
You were born in Manhattan?
Yeah, 16th Street. We were born. Right on, what was it, 6th or 8th Avenue,
Oh.
16th Street. A tenement as well, you know.
Uh-huh.
But I have no knowledge of that at all.
Oh, yeah.
None whatsoever. I think I do, but I might be just daydreaming. I don't know. I may be daydreaming. I wonder what the hell I'm talking about. I remember seeing buildings and rooftops, but I can't make a connection.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure you saw it.
I don't know. I moved to Brooklyn.
So when did you move to Brooklyn?
I have no idea, Dirk. As a child.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very young. I couldn't even take a date.
Do you remember?
That's why his father was one of the bachelors of all these Armenian
I
men.
explained stuff in the beginning.
Right.
They all lived together, more or less, or in the same area
All Armenians.
Right.
All singles.
Okay.
in this building. A lot of them were in this building,
Which building? Your building.
and his father would cook for everybody.
In the same building as she? Okay.
And my father was a grocer. He would, he would sell the groceries. And they'd have somebody else that did something else. They all had their little jobs
I
to
can
do.
tell you what. Yeah,
So,
I'll tell you my father's story. Tell me.
right, so, but his father was, where he was a furrier
Oh,
like.
no, before that, he was the bachelor. There was like her father, another 2 or 3 Armenians lived in this apartment.
Mm-hmm.
They had to work.
Mm-hmm.
My father had no job,
Mm-hmm.
and he was staying with them. According to what my father used to tell me, got to a point they didn't want to carry him anymore. They were carrying him.
Yeah.
So he said something. He'll do the cooking for them
Oh, okay.
and cover. That would cover his
And learn his keep.
earnest, and that's what he did for a long time. He cooked for the men.
Right.
He cooked for the guys, and that
That was his job, yeah.
Job.
Yeah.
That was it. That's how he told me the story.
Yeah.
Uh,
So,
And then what did he do after that?
then he got a job as a furrier.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And he also worked for for business, was a good business user.
Yeah, right.
He worked for this Greek who was a very much of a ladies' man.
All right.
And he had a big business, and my father used to cook for him too. He
Uh-huh.
wanted cooking in the back of his store. He cooked for him. And my father said he used to go with the ladies. He had to have a clean shirt, fresh suit. He was a real swinger.
Yeah.
And he was under his wing a lot. And eventually he learned the business. And I said, just the other day, I said to him, where he had the balls, my father. He had balls
Yeah.
to open up a business, a
Yeah.
greenhorn.
Yeah.
Couldn't read, couldn't write.
That's
Opened
pretty
a friggin'
ballsy.
store. I said he had balls.
Yeah, really. But I mean, if you got nothing to lose, if you were
Well-
only working for somebody doing cooking, I mean, you
Yeah.
want something more for yourself.
Yeah,
so what
he
the hell
liked
am I
business.
gonna? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he liked the business. And
And the area that he worked in
29th Street.
on the west side was where his mother's family lived on
Lived.
the west side.
Oh wow.
And he met her there and he wooed her there and
Yeah, yeah.
they got married. She was only 19.
Oh,
She
wow.
to tell us the story. He used to be working outside
Yeah.
with the truck of the furs or something. She would walk by,
Oh yeah.
and she said something like your sailor hat or something.
Oh.
Because he was in the Navy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
World War I, so he must have been wearing a sailor hat.
Oh wow.
And something, you like it, I'll give you whatever. And that started the shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then when she had her first baby, my brother was very dark.
Yeah.
Well, my father was dark.
Yeah, yeah,
I thought my mother married a Schwarzer.
yeah.
He said the baby was so dark.
That's funny.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stories I could tell you about. Actually, we don't know too much about our parents. My grandparents, they had a tough time too. They had a tough time. They had a lot of children. They lived on the west side also. My grandfather used to work in a bar for a while. He was a lot of these guys were maintenance men. That's all they
Right,
could do.
right, right.
And then he used to go in the bar. You go get a drink, you get a sandwich.
Oh
Get
yeah.
a beer, you get a sandwich.
Right.
And in the windows of the store, they used to have the big carvings of roast beef, steamed paper. See the guy cutting the meat. It was delicious.
Yeah, yeah. For all
And-
fresh.
Oh. So my mother and my her sisters, I guess, my mother was one of the older ones. They'd go with the baby carriage near where my grandfather worked,
Mm.
and he would steal stuff, and they stuff it in the baby carriage.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
think I may
Yeah,
have told you that.
yeah I think you
Stuff
did.
in the baby and take the food home,
Yeah.
feed them. Because my grandmother had boarders also.
Oh yeah.
She had my uncle who married one of the daughters,
Right.
and another man or two. They had boarders in the house with all the daughters,
Oh wow.
and they had quite what you call petitions with cloths separating the men from the women.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my grandfather used to warn them, you know, the men and the women, the girls.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
And Mike used to tell us also that my uncle Ray, when my grandmother would cook for them, Ann would have her olive oil, bring olive oil for cooking, they'd mark Ann on it.
Ah.
So when she cooked, she used Ann's olive oil, not Mary's olive oil.
Oh my god.
Yeah, whole story, unbelievable.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And they survived.
Of course.
They survived, yeah. Unbelievable. And then,
And so,
Thinking of writing a book.
yeah, right.
You
Should.
could write
I
a book.
probably could. Make a movie. But so, didn't you say somebody's either father or grandfather was in something with the Armenian Holocaust? Was in a
oh, parents.
pile of bodies and someone stabbed them or
I
something?
just knew about Mama, he was referring to. My father's parents were killed by the Turks.
And my father's also,
Your father's parents.
Yeah.
and sisters.
And they used to talk of the Turks would throw the babies and catch them on the swords.
Oh,
Now you don't know, I don't know if it was true or not true. That was a story that they used to tell us when they come.
Wow.
Could have been, they were barbarian enough.
I'm sure, but I heard somebody told me that somebody was in a pile of dead bodies that was alive, and they stabbed them. They were stabbing the piles of bodies, and they had to stay still,
Right.
so that they would.
I
Right.
think they did. Didn't
Yeah.
my mama have a stab wound?
I don't know. She didn't elaborate on it. If she did, I
We're
don't know.
talking about an old lady, Nubar Mama. What's Nubar mean? Yeah.
His father's aunt.
My father's aunt. She came here with her son. How'd she get here?
Yeah, she got, you're right, a lot of them. It's funny how they all kind of came and knew where to go
Right.
in the city.
Yeah.
Because they were all around.
It's still that same way. When people
the
come
same.
from other countries, my job has all one nationality.
It's true.
They all come from the country. They all just get that
No,
job.
but I mean, they knew each other from the other side.
Right.
So when they came here, they
They
stayed.
niched right in. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Nubar.
Nubar, that was her name, Nubar.
That was her first name.
Who was she?
My father's aunt.
Okay.
We don't know really. I mean, they're not
But
that
that's-
sure of
That's
relations.
where that story probably came from.
Yeah.
With the
You
stab.
know, because she, when his father, the family was What were these?
My father's family?
Yes, when your father's family was,
Annihilated, killed, terminated, whatever.
I guess, terminated.
All right.
Right, she was the aunt. Right, the mother was the sister of in Newbar, so she kind of took care of his father.
Well, she took care of Pete, Uncle Pete. Didn't she travel with the boys across Greece or Turkey? Who was that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe that was Aunt Newbar. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, you never ask these questions.
Of course, because it's just you hear it once, it's in there, and then
now you'd love to know it.
Of course.
Now you'd love to know the truth.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
would I, but-
That's why I'm.
Yeah, right. You'll know it in the future, so I
Right.
should ask you. But that's about it. Then we all moved. Then everybody came to Brooklyn.
Mm.
You know, and Brooklyn was nice. We were nice. We had a nice apartment.
What about your childhood
Oh,
when you were a kid?
I can't tell you. I always tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
The greatest.
I
Why
know.
would I tell you? It was the greatest.
What was it like? What'd you do?
I can remember shitting in my pants. I shit in my pants, and I went home. I'll never forget it. And I hid under my mother had a buffet,
Yeah.
and I stood and I crawled under the buffet. And I shit in my pants.
Because you were terrified of
I
her.
was terrified of her. I was afraid of my mother. She was tough.
That's funny.
If I played hooky, she would get it. I used to lie when I'd lie. She'd catch me. One time she was ironing. She'd go to school. I said, yeah, you son of a bitch, I'll scold you. She said, I'll scold you. Because I lied if I go to school.
Yeah. And she knew it.
She knows I got the postcard.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Oh,
That's
shit.
funny. What was your mother's name?
Florence.
And your father's?
John. Yeah.
I thought your father's name was Avedis.
No, that's her. Yeah, and well, then we moved to Brooklyn, and of course, my father went in business, and he had bad times. He lost first shot. He had a partner, and they didn't good. He lost all his money. He lost his money in the stock market. We got evicted from the apartment. We got thrown out.
Mm.
We moved to another apartment, and he started again.
Yeah.
He bounced back,
Right.
and then from then on, that was 1940, about 1941. No, it was before 41 we moved to the apartment. Yeah, before. In the 30s, late 30s, we moved, after we got evicted.
Mm.
And my father paid the rent, but he never got a receipt.
Oh, wow.
And the landlord was a bastard, so
Yeah.
you couldn't,
You can't argue it,
so I
yeah.
couldn't argue, so we got evicted. But we didn't move just a short distance away. And then,
And now, youth at the time, every once in a while, we would go out to Brooklyn to visit them.
them,
Oh,
their
yeah.
family.
And I remember he and his brother.
And I remember her and her sister.
My sister used to laugh and giggle at them.
They always giggle, the two jerks. They constantly giggle.
That's so funny.
Only giggling. Her and her, constantly giggling.
What were you just talking about them, making fun of them, or
I don't remember.
it's just being girls and?
And I remember he had a tricycle, which was, he had a tricycle. And what else did you have